There are three coaches who enter critical years at their schools in the ACC this season and this spring. And this spring is going to be huge. Let's start with Georgia Tech. Geoff Collins replaced 6 assistant coaches on his 10-man staff. And he lost a bunch of guys in the transfer portal, including Jamar Gibbs, the running back, to Alabama. He brings in Chip Long, an offensive coordinator, former Notre Dame offensive coordinator, as you guys may remember. He was at Tulane last year. I really like him. The issue is does he have enough to work with? He better, because Georgia Tech, this isn't necessarily a time in a tenure in a fourth year you want to hit the reset button as a head coach. And yet Geoff Collins is doing that. If they have another losing season this year, this is probably it for Geoff Collins in Atlanta. Meanwhile, at Florida State, Mike Norvell, goodness gracious, we talk about hitting the transfer portal hard. Boy, has he over the last 3 years. We saw them take a big step forward last season, but we're still wanting to see some more production, more consistent production. The good news is he's got Jordan Travis back at quarterback. He seems to be the answer for them. But again, he hit the transfer portal hard to try and fill some voids, especially on defense. Is Jared Verse as good as everybody believes he is? Incredible pass rusher out of Albany, now jumping to the ACC level in big-time college football. Florida State, in this season under Mike Norvell, this is his team. He has made a complete roster turnover the last 2 to 3 years, going through the transfer portal. This is his team. If this is what Florida State wants to be in the future, then that's it. If they win 8-9 games this year, that's a good sign. But if they win 5 or 6 games, that's bad news for the future, because this is a Mike Norvell roster, and it's very difficult to change things when you've been just building a roster off of the transfer portal primarily. And then at Louisville, Scott Satterfield. I remember halfway through the season, I was being asked by people on radio in Louisville if I thought Satterfield might be fired because they were struggling. Well, they managed to get to a bowl game. They really rebounded very well, but they're just not doing very well consistently on offense. And they got pushed around quite a bit by Air Force in that bowl game as well. So Satterfield's back 4th season, 18-19 overall. He's had back-to-back losing seasons. And this spring, you're probably not really going to be able to tell all that much about how much they have improved or even gotten worse, because their defensive secondary is what you should really have your eyes on. They are very thin there. They've got 2 transfers coming in where they think they could help them immediately. The issue is they won't be on campus this spring, which is almost unheard of in the transfer portal. Usually guys are on campus this spring. Instead, they're not arriving till the summer. You're dealing with injuries there. You're dealing with graduations and kids leaving the program themselves to others. Louisville's got a problem on defense in that defensive secondary, and I'm not so sure they're going to get the answers they want this spring.